For someone who began playing WoW in post-vanilla, it's hard to explain just how amazing Blackrock Depths was back in classic World of Warcraft. It's true that people often got lost in there, but it was also a fantastic place to lose yourself. No dungeon or raid, or even area of the game, has ever been as comprehensive or offered more to discover. There always seemed to be another boss, event, or area to explore, another secret to unlock. It's no secret that Blackrock Depths remains one of the most memorable dungeons in all of World of Warcraft. It wasn't just a dungeon though, it was a civilization, and you were there to bring it to its knees. The scope and breadth of this place was enormous. It had a bar, it had a bank, a shrine, a gladiator arena, a crypt, living quarters, multiple guard garrisons, a craftsman's plaza, a machine shop, a forge, a throne room full of nobles, and even its own jail. It's hard to say how many bosses the original BRD had. Many were rare, hidden, summoned, or randomly chosen by an event. There is even a boss fight just outside the entrance, in the elemental Overmaster Pyron. Although not all of these could be faced on the same run, this dungeon had upwards of 30 unique boss-like encounters, something that no other dungeon has done before. Blackrock Depths and Blackrock Mountain itself was a blueprint for how dungeons and raids would be portrayed in the Burning Crusade, with the dungeon hub, Blackrock Mountain, being home also to a major raid, or in this case, 2 raids. If you look at how the Burning Crusade was set up, you could see it followed a similar pattern, with Hellfire Citadel being a dungeon hub, while Magtheridon's lair lied deep inside, or how Tempest Keep's dungeons were all centered around the Eye. But back to pre-Burning Crusade. In vanilla WoW, there was no in-game dungeon map that showed you how to navigate through this labyrinth of a city. You were on your own. Blackrock Depths was arguably the best of Blizzard's original crop of dungeons. Although not many people may venture through it in today's WoW, it continues to be one of the most relevant topics in World of Warcraft's history. When you were first leveling in Searing Gorge or Burning Steppes, and you walked up that long pathway leading into the mountain, you felt something when you entered through those big stone doors. And when you saw the circling pathway and the chains connecting to the center of the volcano, you knew you were in a whole other world. And when you ran across those chains and went deeper into the mountain, you felt something different than all the other dungeons in the game. You felt that there was something truly awesome down there. Not only was Blackrock Depths aesthetically pleasing, but its design philosophy is something we have not seen from another dungeon in the history of World of Warcraft. We have seen the dungeon hubs. Yes, we have Scarlet Monastery, we had Dire Maul, but there was never a dungeon that was so effectively tiered level-wise. Putting it more simply, the deeper in Blackrock Depths you went, the higher level you would need to be. Realistically, one could start BRD in your mid to high 40s, since the first room of mobs and bosses are around level 48 to 50. But as you progress through the dungeon, you encounter ever-increasing mob levels. The further in the dungeon you go, all the way up to levels 59 and 60. This is a dungeon with a level range of basically 48 to 60, all in one instance. There was also always a ton of incentives to keep returning to this dungeon, from your first time in your late 40s to grinding pre-raid when you actually hit 60. It was one of, if not the only place to gather Dark Iron Ore, a valuable resource in endgame when it came to classic WoW, as well as an NPC who sold profession recipes based on your Thorium Brotherhood reputation, and the only way to get exalted with them is by completing turn-ins to that same NPC. Blackrock Depths truly felt like the game's first raid. It would take hours on hours to do a full clear, with a group that's willing to do it. And it brought vanilla WoW players so many memories in the process. Do you guys remember not being attuned to Molten Core, so you have to kill Lord Insidious and then jump down into this lava thing and hug the wall, and then just kind of jump all the way to the Molten Core entrance? Good times.